on what Power BI is, who Power BI is for, and what Power BI can do for you and your career. Power BI is a game changer. It handles large data sets, advanced visualizations and interactivity, automated data, refresh, and sharing. Now, this is a Power BI report screenshot that we have here in our presentation. This is called the report view. If I come down, this is called the table view. And the table view is basically where we have all of our data. And our report view is where we build out the report. And once we build the report, we'll publish the report. I don't see it up here, but we'll publish the report, and then that report's going to become a dashboard. Here we have data modeling. So what we need in Power BI is we have several. If I go back to the report view, we have several different visualizations. Each one of these tiles is a visualization.
Before we go too much further into the video, what I want to do is ask you to go over to my website, powerofthebi.com, and sign up for my free webinar. That's right, I said my free webinar, where I walk you through the ins and outs of what it takes to learn the tech skills of Power BI. So here's the deal. Go to the website, sign up for my free webinar, Power of the BI, where I will walk you through learning the tech skills of Power BI. If you find that it's something that you're interested in, of course, I'm going to ask you to sign up for the class, Power of the BI. If you find that it's something that you're not interested in, that's okay too. There are many tech skills out there that you may want to pick up and learn and use your transferable skills to move ahead in your career, and I encourage you to do that as well. However, you are still welcome to come back over to our YouTube channel, Power of the BI, and learn as much as you can about Power BI. Learn as much as you can about Power BI. Send me messages, send me texts, send me comments within the comments, and I will definitely get back to you. But anyway, once again, go over to my website, sign up for my free webinar, sign up for my free webinar where I'll be walking you through the skill set of learning Power BI. And again, if you're not interested in signing up for the class at this time, that's totally okay. It's not going to be any hard sell. Now, back to the video.
Welcome back to another video in the Power of the BI. Welcome back to another video in the Power of the BI as we talk about Power BI and give you some basic information on what Power BI is, who Power BI is for, and what Power BI can do for you and your career. Again, welcome back to another video in the Power of the BI. Welcome back to another video in the Power of the BI. I am T, and I will be going over Power BI, Power of the BI. I will attempt to go through my slides here that I have. I will also attempt to show you what Power BI is and what Power BI does. So I'll start talking too much right now. I'm going to give you more information than what you really need. And basically, we're going to get the slides, and then I'm going to say, hey, we've already talked about this. So rather than doing that, let's jump right into the presentation. And basically, what we are here to talk about today is Power BI, and we're here to talk about Power of the BI. Power of the BI is a business that I have started, an online course to teach individuals just like yourself Power BI. Power of the BI is a course where I teach Power BI. Now, I want to be real clear that Power BI is a Microsoft product, and Power of the BI is not a Microsoft organization, is not affiliated with Microsoft. Powerofthebi.com is where I have launched my business to teach individuals such as yourself Power BI. I do not work for Microsoft. I have, in fact, worked on projects to where I have been a contractor for Microsoft, but I am not a contractor or a current worker for Microsoft at this point in time. I just want to get that out there and be very clear. Powerofthebi.com is definitely individual and independent of Microsoft and independent of Power BI itself. Now, Power BI is a Microsoft product, just as Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and Publisher. Power BI is a Microsoft product. It is a product that I have chosen to be the product that I use, or the solution that I use and have become very familiar with and actually certified in the technology realm. So let's get to moving. Let's go right through, and we got a lot to talk about, a lot of things to look at. If you guys have questions, please feel free. Definitely those on Zoom, you can raise your hand in Zoom. Those that are on YouTube, you can put your questions in. If I do not get to your questions this evening, I will definitely respond to your questions. So you could follow back up here in the messaging here on YouTube, or if you feel safe enough, you can actually um, leave me your email and I will respond back to you directly via email. And so that's just where we are. So here we go. We are talking about Power BI. Again, thank you for joining in. It is definitely understood that you have several places you probably could be right now, but you chose to be right here. And I do not take that for granted. So here, Power of the BI, master Power BI and transform your career, your path to Power BI mastery and certification success. So again, at the end of the day, powerofthebi.com. Powerofthebi.com is my channel, my online course where I teach individuals such as yourself Power BI. If you learn Power BI just as is indicated here, it could transform your career, it could transform a whole lot of things about how you move. It can change your life if you learn this thing the right way. As we go through this webinar and this training, you will probably begin to see how it could help you in your career. There's no industry that's out there that is not going to be using some form of business data analytic tools here in the very short near future. And Power BI is definitely one of those tools that you can use, and the one that I propose that individuals do use. Is just my tool of choice. The agenda today, we're going to talk about why Power BI. We're going to talk about the course itself, powerofthebi.com, the course overview. We're going to talk about certification prep details because I do offer certification prep as well. As a separate course. So there's powerofthebi.com, and then within Power of the BI, there's the certification prep to where you can get certified. Now, what I will tell individuals such as yourself all the time is you do not have to be certified in Power BI in order to be a good Power BI developer. You do not have to be certified in Power BI to get a good Power BI job. It really is icing on the cake if you have certification. Now, um, I will say I do have a certification in Power BI, and I have several other certifications. But again, the Power BI certification and the other certifications are all are all part of the icing on the cake. You do not have to be certified in order to to um, to be a good Power BI developer and to get a Power BI job. Now, if you're in the running with someone and you guys are neck and neck for the job and you have a certification, I would be inclined to believe that you would probably get that position because you have the certification. With that said, we'll talk certifications here a little later. Success stories. I like to say that I am my own success story, right? Um, we will be talking to other individuals. For those that decide to sign up for powerofthebi.com, you will be introduced to, current and past students. You will be introduced to individuals that I actually went through other boot camps with, and get an idea of, is this boot camp thing, is this boot camp thing the real deal? Is Power BI the real deal? Is Power of the BI the real deal? Uh, no shameless plug, but I just like to say that I am my own success story, right? I'm not even going to go into that. We're gonna talk a lot of Power BI here. We're going to talk a lot of Power of the BI.com, and eventually you're going to see why I say what I say. Next thing we're going to talk about is pricing and bundles. I'm not going to tell you that I'm not going to give you an opportunity to join the course. You're going to get an opportunity to join the course. I'm not going to beat you upside the head. It's going to totally be it's going to totally be up to you. I'm going to give you all the information that I have here today about Power BI and give you this training here today totally free, totally free. Not asking for one silver dime or one red cent. I'm going to give it to you totally free. But if you really want to get into this particular tech field and learn Power BI, eventually down the line here, the next 60 to 75 minutes, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do so. Um, Limited time offers. I'm not trying to beat you. I'm not going to try to beat you over the head with it. I'm not going to try to tell you that you have to sign up for this course. I think what you're going to get here this evening for the next 60 to 75 minutes, you're going to really feel good about what you're going to be receiving as far as the training in Power BI. And if you decide not to sign up for the course, trust me, it is okay. If you want to come back the next time for the next webinar, next week, for the next free training, that's totally okay too. If that's what you want to do, that's totally okay too. You do not have to sign up for anything, right? So I just want to be real clear on that because I don't want to scare you off and make you feel like, well, I can't really watch this training because he's going to ask me to sign up for something. No, I'm going to give you an opportunity. If you decide to take the opportunity, that is totally up to you. So again, just a little bit about myself. My name is Terod Robinson. My friends call me Coach T. Again, Terod Robinson. My friends call me Coach T. You can call me T. In this particular course, I do not consider myself to be a teacher. I do not consider myself to be an instructor. I consider myself to be a coach. I coach you through the program. You do not get a pass-fail grade. I coach you through the program. I tell you what I think some things that you're doing should be and some changes that you probably should make, or I give you an indication that what you're doing is great and you are doing a great job. But I only coach. I do not consider myself as the teacher. Everyone who signs up for this class will pass this class. Everyone who signs up for this class or this online course will have the opportunity to complete the course. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's an easy course, but everyone will have an opportunity. Again, I am the founder and CEO of Power of the BI. .com. I am Microsoft certified. I am a Microsoft certified data analyst. I am also a Microsoft certified data engineer, a Microsoft certified fabric engineer, a Microsoft certified AI associate, and a Microsoft certified Azure. I'm certified Microsoft certified Azure fundamentals. Yeah, that bothers me. That was misspelled there. Um, Now, with that said, out of all of the certifications, the one that really matters to me for this particular course is the data analyst, the data engineer, the fabric engineer, the AI associate, and the Azure fundamentals. Those are good to have, but those are not must-haves. And also, the data analyst is not a must-have, but the data analyst is um, what we do as Power BI developers. We are data analysts. So that is the icing on the cake when it comes to being a Power BI report developer. And as you see, I also have the badges down here from Microsoft that show that I am certified in these particular areas here. I was not able to find the badges for these other um, uh, um, certifications in which I am also certified, but that's okay. Again, the one that I think is most important, the one that I know is most important for this particular course and this particular training here is the Power BI data analyst. Power BI, top skills in demand, data analytics, visualization, and reporting. Top skills in demand, data analytics, visualization, and reporting. Industry adoption, trusted by 97% of Fortune 500 companies. Earning potential, certified professionals earn up to $20,000 more annually. Certified individuals earn up to $20,000 more annually. So, with that said, you can be certified in Power BI and not get a raise. You can be certified in Power BI and get approximately $20,000 more than what you would normally the normal base pay of a Power BI developer or Power BI data analyst. Data analytics, visualization, and reporting. Basically, all of those are things that you do, that we create in Power BI. We create data visualizations. We create reporting. We are reporters. We create reports. That's what a Power BI developer creates is a report. Then it turns into a dashboard. A report and a dashboard are very similar. I'm not going to go too deep into what the differences are, but if you know what a dashboard is, you pretty much know what a Power BI report is. See here. What is Power BI? Dynamic Business Intelligence Tool by Microsoft, seamless integration with Excel, SQL. Now, the data sources create insight for dashboards. At the end of the day, what is Power BI? Power BI allows us to create reports, and we turn those reports into dashboards. Now, previously, I just indicated that a report and a dashboard are pretty much one and the same. But here's the primary difference between a report and the dashboard. We create the report. Then once the report is created, we publish the report to the internet. When we publish it to the internet, it becomes a dashboard. The dashboard is then on on the internet. That's primarily the difference. A report is something that we can make changes to. We can edit. Is what we create. But the final product is actually going to be the dashboard. Many of us have seen dashboards before. I'm sure you've seen a dashboard here recently, probably either for your job or even if you log into your utility site. You know that is a dashboard, and that's what we do as Power BI developers. We create dashboards. Who is this course for? Aspiring data analysts, business professionals, IT and BI developers, managers, and team leads. You say, well, T, that's a whole lot of people. That's pretty much everybody. And yes, that is exactly what it is. Power BI is built for everyone, not just one particular industry, not for one particular job title or role. Everyone can benefit from Power BI. So, for instance, an aspiring data analyst, that's you. You are an aspiring data analyst for the simple fact you have some curiosity as to what does Power BI do. And then if you decide to sign up for powerofthebi.com, once you complete that course, once you complete the course powerofthebi.com, you then will be ready to become a data analyst. The job is you will be attempting to apply for being a data analyst. Business professionals use Power BI all the time. They may not create the reports. So you may be in an industry right now, in a business industry right now, and the reports that are being the dashboards that are created are dashboards that you are actually using. So now you're probably interested in learning how to create those reports and learn the nuances behind Power BI so that you can become more valuable within your organization. So not only are you able to use a Power BI report or a dashboard or a dashboard, you now probably want to get into the role of being able to create those reports and dashboards. IT and BI developers, same thing as with the business professionals. You probably you may be in IT, you may be a BI developer. And for those that don't know what BI stands for, BI stands for business intelligence, and IT stands for information technology. Now, business intelligence is very similar to artificial intelligence. If you've seen any of my other videos, you understand that I do try to make a very distinct difference between what AI and BI is. AI is artificial intelligence, BI is business intelligence. I like to believe that BI has been around a little longer than AI, even though A comes before B. Now, that may not be funny to you, but I think that's very funny. But at the end of the day, BI and AI or AI and BI, they work hand in hand together. They are very integral. They have very integral parts within both of those intelligence modes to where they do work together. And business intelligence matched with artificial intelligence allows a business to be able to make some predictions, some forecasts that they normally wouldn't be able to make. Otherwise, it would have been almost a scientific guess, if nothing, if for the lack of any better term, in a very short period, not long ago. managers and team leads. Managers and team leads, they need business intelligence as well because they have people that work for them that are using Microsoft Power BI, or they're using business intelligence, and they may be using Microsoft Power BI in order as their tool for business intelligence. So, with that said, um, the managers and team leads may decide what they may, you as a manager or a team lead may say, hey, I don't necessarily want to be a report developer, but I want to know how the report is developed. And that could be the reason why you are here, right now. Overview for Power of the BI is fairly simple. The course is built in modules. There are actually 32 modules. But these four these four identified modules here are not the modules of the course. These are just the overall breakout of what the course is really about. Module number one is Power BI fundamentals. Power BI fundamentals, the very fundamentals of Power BI. Module number two, data modeling and transformation. We're going to look at some data modeling and some transformation. We're actually look at some Power BI fundamentals here in this training so that you'll get an idea of what the fundamentals of Power BI is, and you'll get to see what data modeling and transformations look like. Module number three, advanced visualizations and reporting. At the end of the day, Power BI is data visualization and it is reporting. There's no other way around it. That is what it is. It's data visualization and reporting. And module number four, DAX and advanced analytics. So many of you guys will probably say, hey, I'm not good at coding, I'm not good at math, and I'm not good at all that computer language and all that kind of stuff. So if it's going to come down to that, I'm not interested. So here's the deal. Power BI is low code, not necessarily no code, but it is low code. So, what does that mean, T? It means that you don't have to be, you don't have to spend, 4 years in an undergraduate institution or really understanding machine language in order to learn what's called DAX, which is the computer code language for Power BI. But what we do here in Power of the BI, we do teach you the basics and the fundamentals of DAX, and we teach you the basics and the fundamentals of SQL. And with the basis of DAX and the basis of SQL, you will pretty much be able to create those projects, those reports that you need to, and be using that coding language called DAX. And DAX actually stands for Data Analytic Expression, Data Analyst Expression. I believe that's exactly what it was. So as we move right along, learning objectives for Power BI and for our course, Power of the BI, we build interactive dashboards and reports, understand data modeling techniques, apply DAX functions for analytics, and share insights with Power BI service. In very simple terms, the only thing we're doing is we're creating a report. If you were ever in the fourth grade and you learned to create that line chart in the fourth grade or that column chart in the fourth grade, you pretty much have about 30% of what it takes in order to build out or to be a successful Power BI report developer. If you were ever in the fourth grade and you created a line chart or a column chart, you have about 30% of what it takes in order to become a Power BI report developer. Bottom line is, I'm telling you that it probably takes right about fourth grade math in order for you to be a good report developer. Features. The course powerofthebi.com is a self-paced course. It's self-paced and it's coach led. I'm not going to say instructor led. It's coach led. We meet once a week as a group, but outside of that, it is self-paced. It's 32 modules. If you want to do all 32 modules in one day, you are more than welcome to do so. If you want to do, well, let me say this. I don't believe you can do 32 modules in a day. It's the course is created in order for you to be created for it to be completed in 16 weeks, which means there are projected 2 modules per week. However, if you really grind it out, I can see this course being completed in 8 weeks. And if you just go ham, it can be done in 6 weeks. You finish it any quicker than 6 weeks, I would have some question as to what you really comprehended and what you really understand. But it is designed for 16 weeks. If you really grind it out, when I say grind it out, probably spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day. You could probably have it done in 8 weeks. And if you just go ham and you say, "Hey, I'm trying to, get this new job, and get into a new career or into a new career," you could probably have this course completed in 6 weeks. Let's see, expert-led session with QA certification-ready content. So part of this part of powerofthebi.com is you will be learning some things that will have you that you will be learning some of the things that are on the certification exam. But powerofthebi.com is not um, geared towards teaching you how to be successful on the certification exam. Now, there is another course there. I do have another course where I work specifically with you on the certification exam. So I just want to be real clear. I think that might have been a little confusing. I just want to be clear before I went on to the next deal. Certification prep focused on the PL300. The PL300 it's the Microsoft PL300. If you go to learn.microsoft.com, go to training, or go to credentials or certifications. Learn.microsoft.com. You go to certifications. You can see that the PL300 the um, is the certification for Power BI, which is data analyst. Microsoft Power BI data analyst. It is the Microsoft Power BI data analyst certification. It's aligned with the latest Microsoft exam objectives. The it includes practice tests and mock exams. So if you decide to go into the exam prep course, you will you'll be given practice tests and mock exams, and the questions will be aligned to the Microsoft certification. We learn certification prep, define and prepare data for the analysts for analysis. Model data for performance and scalability, visualize and analyze data effectively, deploy and maintain deliverables. At the end of the day, what you will be learning in certification prep again, what is very you will be given mock tests and questions and answers very similar to what is on the Microsoft certification exam for the PL300. The Microsoft PL300 is the data analyst certification. Why get certified? Recognize credentials, boost your resume and LinkedIn profile, job opportunities stand out in competitive market validation, showcase your expertise in Power BI. Again, I will tell you, just because you are certified does not mean you are good in Power BI. Just because you are certified does not even mean you can even create a Power BI report. That means you have passed a test. You will not have to create a report on the exam. You would only simply have to, up until this point, you don't have to create a report. Let me say this. When I took the exam, I didn't have to create a report. I had to answer multiple choice questions. So with that said, if the exam is still the same, you will, just because you have a certification does not mean that you will be a good Microsoft certification, a good Microsoft report developer. But it is icing on the cake. Our proven methodology: learn core concepts with guided lessons, practice real world projects, test knowledge quizzes, and mock exams, certified with confidence. At the end of the day, we believe, or I believe, in my I'm not gonna call them insistence, but my partners that work with me to see that you are successful. We have a great amount of confidence that what we are helping you to accomplish is going to actually help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, and that's get that Microsoft certification under your belt. Success stories. We will talk success stories later. Um, I don't want to overshoot you with success stories. I want you to really feel good about what we have going on. But for those of you that do sign up for powerofthebi.com, you will get to meet some of the guys in previous classes and current classes, and some of my counterparts, uh, so that you can understand what it really looks like to be successful once you have entered the workforce after powerofthebi.com. Tools and resources, lifetime access to materials, templates for dashboards, practice data sets, exam preparation guides. Again, you will receive exam preparation. You also receive lifetime access to materials, templates for dashboards, practice data sets. All of this information will be in our community group. The actual course itself, you'll have access to the course. If you sign up for powerofthebi.com, you'll have access to the course for a year. And then after that year, you will not be able to get into the modules anymore. Now, that's a year after you complete the course. So um, if it takes you 16 weeks to complete the course, you'll have 1 year after the 16 weeks to access the modules within the course. If you complete the course in 6 months, you will have 12 have 1 year after that 6 months after you completed that last module and received your certificate. You will have 1 year after you receive your certificate in order to continue to use the modules. Now, with that said, the community is where what this thing is really rooted in. So what that means is you have lifetime access to materials because you will have a lifetime access to the community. The community is definitely something that you don't want to take for granted. You're going to be able to communicate with me. You're going to be able to communicate with your classmates. You're going to be able, well, I'm not gonna say classmates, but with your counterparts in the course and with those that completed the course before you and after you. That lifetime access of those individuals and the materials that are available to you within our app is going to be invaluable. Support and community, again, dedicated to support the team, access to a private community of learners, networking opportunities with industry professionals. We have an app which gives you which where we have a community where you will be able to communicate with the community. What does that look like? What does community really look like? So here's the deal. This is what community looks like. You're on the job, you run into a snag, you run into a project, you run into an issue on the project, and you really don't know how to complete the project. You need an answer. And you will have instant access to the community, and the community can help you like right then or give you access or insight as to what you may need to do right then. That's what community is here at powerofthebi.com. Why get certified? We talked about why get certified. We're going to skip that one. That may even be a duplicate there. What job position will I qualify for, and what is the pay? A data analyst is what you would be primarily looking at. Data analyst, Power BI developer, and report developer, and they all are the same thing. And we're going to look at a Power BI report here shortly. The average pay $47 to $65 per hour, with an average of $50 per hour. That comes out to be $93,600 to $135,200 per year, or on average $104,000. Okay, so those are the positions, and these are the salaries that you would be looking at. What are the primary locations for work? 100% remote, hybrid, and on-site. 100% remote, hybrid, and on-site. I believe that within tech itself, definitely in Power BI, is one of the fields that are still lingering around since COVID, that is still allowing workers to work 100% remote. But there are opportunities to work hybrid, and there are opportunities to work on site. We'll cover what is Power BI: importing data, cleaning data, building visualizations, and creating a dashboard. Again, we will look at this information as we look at a Power BI report. benefits of Power BI. And I guess primary benefits, I guess when we say benefits, we're talking about benefits for the organization. Connect to multiple data sources, transforming clean data seamlessly, create beautiful interactive dashboards, and share insights securely across teams. While Power BI is a game changer, handles large data sets, advanced visualizations and interactivity, automated data refresh and sharing. Now, this is a Power BI report screenshot that we have here in our presentation. This is called the report view. If I come down, this is called the table view. And the table view is basically where we have all of our data. And our report view is where we build out the report. And once we build the report, we'll publish the report. I don't see it up here, but we'll publish the report, and then that report's going to become a dashboard. Here we have data modeling. So what we need in Power BI is we have several. If I go back to the report view, we have several different visualizations. Each one of these tiles is a visualization. And basically what we want to do is if I click on one of these tiles, and again, this is a screenshot, we will look at this in a real Power BI report here in a few minutes. But if I click on one of these visualizations, we want to see it. We want to see how it interacts with the other visuals. So this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile, and this tile are all visualization. And basically, what we like about Power BI is that when we click on something in a particular visualization, then it shows us the results of that click in all of the other tiles or all the other visualizations as well. And in order to make that happen, we have to do what is called creating data models. In order to make these visualizations talk or communicate with one another, we have to create data models, and we take one table, and not all the time, but in this particular case here, we created one model, one table, and this table connects to all the other tables. And this table that's in the center is called the center of the star schema. And what the way that models are built in Power BI is on star schema, which means that there is going to be a table that's communicating with multiple other tables in order for the data interaction to actually work. So I am going to pull up the actual Power BI report as we were looking here in our presentation. Here are the screenshots, and this is the actual report. So what I was saying was, as far as the interaction, if I come to the column chart labeled revenue and opportunity count by month, if I click on the month of June, now I am getting to see revenue by region and state as I clicked on it, pipeline by stage, opportunity count by region, and opportunity revenue and opportunity count, all because I selected one particular month. If I select that month again, that erases and resets that particular visualization. If I come back over to January, I click on January, and we see that this is all interacting. And the reason why it is interacting is because of the data model. And this is the actual data model here. This is not the screenshot. This is the actual data model. I'm trying to make it a little smaller so we can see it. And in the center of the data model is fact table, and the rest of these tables that are surrounding are dimension tables. A fact table is a table that has numbers associated with it, and the numbers can be aggregated. And the tables that have dimensions, the dimensions pretty much describe everything in the fact table. So it pretty much tells us, well, I'm not going to get too deep into that because everyone here does not have Power BI, but you get what I mean here. I can come back, I can click January again, it's going to reset. And even with the map, if I click inside the map, it's going to interact with all of the other visualizations. Now this can be set to where you can click on something and interactions do not occur Uh, we're not going to get too deep into that because, again, that is something that could confuse you. But yes, you can create something. You can create a visualization, and that visualization does not have to interact with the rest of the visuals. Like I brought my picture too far down. So again, this is the report view. This is the report view where we come in and we create the report. As I said before, you can publish this and it can go out and to the internet. So if I come here and I click publish, I click save. I believe I've already published this before, so it should ask if I want to replace it. My workspace, select. So as we're looking here again, this is the report. We're looking at the actual report. Now we are going to uh, is going out to the internet. It's going out to what's called app.powerbi.com. I don't want to buy Fabric. And now this is not, and it can be edited, but now we're often to the report. This is a report that was actually built, that was published from the report view. But I could consider this to be a dashboard. I don't have to consider this to be a dashboard, but I could. But actually, we would come over and we would create a dashboard uh, from the visualizations that we have. That's another conversation. But at the end of the day, this being that it's out on the web, we can lock it so that no one can change it. And for individuals in the organization that need to see this data or make their analysis based on um, the clicking of the columns or the states or the tree map, whatever the case may be, they can do it. And I would call this a dashboard for the lack of any better term. But that is still debatable because Microsoft does have an official definition of what a dashboard really is. I'm going to go back to the report view. I'm going to go back to the report itself. And again, this is the report view. We brought in all of our visuals. If I click on this visual, I can tell that this visual is a clustered column, and it was pulled from. No, it's a line stacked column chart, and that's because I can see it highlighted. If I highlight here, I know that this is a bar chart, and this is the bar that was used, the stack bar. This is a map, and let's see which map was used. The Azure map was used. If I come over here, I see that that's a bar, and again, that's the stack bar chart that was used. And that was just a matter of just dragging and dropping that bar chart over. Now, if I come back over here to the table view, and the reason why I call it a table view, if I highlight uh, this here deal, this icon here is called a report view. If I highlight this deal here, it's called the table view. If I highlight this deal here, it's called the model view. If I highlight the table view, if I come over to the table view, I'm going to go to home and I'm going to click transform data, transform data. Now, if there are any pieces of data within this project that needs to be changed, this is where I will make it at. And this is called Power Query. Um, I remember when I first started interviewing for these jobs for Power BI, and the recruiter or the interviewer would ask me, how are you in Power Query? How are you in Power Query? And I'm like, that's a spooky term. That's a spooky term. At the end of the day, this is Power Query, and Power Query allows us to transform data. So we can change the number of letters or number of text letters that are associated with the account. Um, we can make all kind of changes. Any changes we want to make, we can make here in Power Query. I'm not going to go too deep into Power Query because we're running real close to time, and we're running real close to time. But I just want to show you that this is where you would make changes to your data here in Power Query. If I made any changes, then I would come over here and I would close and apply. I haven't made any changes, so I'm just going to click close. Now, we've done a lot here. I'm going to come back over to our presentation. We looked at the model view. Now we get how Power BI drives business decisions, turn data into actionable insights, examples, sales trends by region or customer demographics. Bottom line is visualization. So the visualization is telling the story, whether it be the amount of sales, whether it be the number of people just walked in the room, the number of receipts that were sold. It's the visualization that's created using Power BI. That's how Power BI drives the business. If you can remember, we were young. They say pictures. Um, a picture tells 1,000 words, and basically data visualization, and then you have the interaction. Oh, you're getting 1,000 words plus when it comes to Power BI. What you'll learn: import raw data, clean data. We just talked about cleaning data and transforming data in Power Query. Visualize data with charts and graphs. Again, that's data visualization. Build a simple interactive dashboard. Again, data visualization. Importing data. So here's the deal. The question is, where does data come from? Let me come back over here to the Power BI report just so you can see what that means. Importing data. So this data, in this table view, this data came from somewhere. Where did that data come from? Well, we went to get data, and these are all the places that this data can come from. And there's even more places that this data can come from. Excel workbooks, Power BI, semantic models, data flows, Dataverse, SQL Server, analysis service, text, CSVs, web. There are lots of places. If I come down here and click more, we can see other sources of places where this data can come from. All of these is places where data can come from. Okay. And basically, that data is being imported in here. Now, I use that term loosely as well because it could be a direct query. The difference between import and direct query is when we do an import, we say go get data and we bring the data into the actual report. When we use a direct query, we're just going out to wherever that data source is and we're pulling that data is coming in on a live basis. So that's the primary difference between direct query and import mode. We're going to come back over to our presentation, connecting to data source. We just talked about that. It just showed you how to connect to data sources, previewing your data content, inspect columns, rows, and data, identify data quality issues early. Basically, know your data, know what you're pulling in, know what the customer is requesting of you to do, and do that because data is super important. Tips for importing data: keep file names and formats consistent, ensure data set is complete and up to date. That is, I can't explain that even better than what it already says. Cleaning data with Power Query. I just showed you what Power Query was. Again, I'll come back over to the Power BI report. I'm going to come down to the table view. I'm going to click home. I'm going to come down to transform data. I'm going to click transform data. And this is Power Query. Power Query allows us to make changes within the data. We can change, for instance, with state, we can, rather than using New York, we can change this to be NY. We can just say we want to just use York. For segment, we could just say STR for strategy, and we can just use the first three letters to identify what the segment is. But Power Query allows us to do that. Again, I'm going to click close. I'm not going to click close and apply because I didn't change anything. I just clicked close because there were no changes to apply. data cleaning actions. Remove duplicates, rename columns, change data types, replace null values. Again, all of that is done in Power Query. All of that is done in Power Query. It is not spooky. It is not rocket science. All of that is done in Power Query. Query in action. We just looked at Power Query, so we don't necessarily have to go through that again. The importance of data clean data ensures. We just talked about that, so we don't have to talk about that again. Now, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. Again, you are not forced to join in Power of the BI.com. But if you wanted to join Power of the BI.com, here's the deal. I have an exclusive offer for you right now. An exclusive offer for you right now. Exclusive limited time offer, save 50% today. Original price is $24.99. Today's price is $12.49. You save $1,250. What do you get here? You're going to get comprehensive Power BI training, hands-on projects and real-world applications, lifetime access to course materials, and certificate of completion to showcase your work. Again, original price is $24.99. Right now, today, for the next 24 hours only, it's going to be $1,249. Exclusive offer for certification prep. Achieve your PL 300 certification. Original price is $49.99. Today's price is $24.99, a savings of $2,500. What's included in the certification prep course? In-depth training aligned with PL 300 exam objectives, real-world case studies and practice tests, expert guidance to pass the exam with confidence, exclusive resources to accelerate your learning. Again, one more time, the original price is $49.99 for the exam certification prep. But today's price for the next 24 hours only is $24.99. Now, I offer both of these classes in a bundle, Power BI Mastery bundle, course and certification prep equals the ultimate value. Bundle pricing, you can't miss it. Individual prices, Power BI course is $12.49. PL 300 certification prep is $24.99. Total value is $37.48 with the bundle. If you decide to go with the bundle right now today for the next 24 hours, the bundle is only $34.99. The bundle is only $34.99. What's included in the bundle? Complete Power BI online course, PL 300 certification prep course, hands-on projects, and real-world case studies. Lifetime access to all course materials, expert guidance, and certification exam resources. So you've got it. You can sign up for powerofthebi.com. You can sign up for the certification prep, or you can sign up for both using the bundle. It is totally up to you if that is something that you think will be good for you and your career as you move forward. So with that said, that pretty much wraps up what I have to speak about today in this particular training, in this particular webinar. I look forward to seeing you again next week. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you very much for joining in on this particular webinar, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.